Hello, I'm Lizzie and this is Lizzie Reads and welcome to my book. First book haul I've done in such a long time. I basically didn't haul any books last year, which is really odd. The years previous I bought quite a few books. I had quite a lot of books on my TBR and I read a lot from Scribd. I really delved into Scribd this year. Just to let you know, we haven't taken the Christmas lights down yet, so I thought it'd be nice in the background, considering the background isn't super pleasant at the moment. I've got a bit of a mess going on, but with some moving around me down in the bedroom, it's just so much easier to sort them out this way. So I'm going to get into the book haul. First of all, I hauled two books I think just in the middle of November. I went to buy one book that I've been meaning to buy for a while, which was Hollowpox by Jessica Townsend, which is The Hunt for Morrigan Crow. This is the third in the Nevermore trilogy, and this is about a young girl called Morrigan Crow who's fated to die on her 12th birthday, but then that is brought forward earlier a year, and on the day she's supposed to die, she's whisked away by Jupiter North to the wondrous land of Nevermore, and it is the most beautiful whimsical series. I've already started this. I was going to finish it at the end of last month, but I decided to carry it over because I wanted the first book I read this year, 2021, Happy New Year, to be a good one, and I knew that I'd love this no matter what. So yeah, this is going to be one of the ones I read. Next we have An American Marriage by Tari Jones, and this I believe is about a married couple who are, I think on the back it calls them the embodiment of the American dream, and that they get torn apart because the husband gets put into prison for a murder the wife knows he didn't commit. And yeah, it's about that and how that just follows on from that. I always thought it was really interesting. A co-worker said they really liked it, and I was just in an independent bookshop and I really wanted to buy something before Christmas. I knew the shops were probably going to shut and I just wanted to buy something from one of my favourite bookshops. I just had the impulse, and I saw this, heard good things about it, and thought pick it up. But then the next set of books were books I consciously decided to haul loads of books. Well, I say loads, but there's quite a few here actually. I haven't hauled this many books in a really long time. I don't get books for Christmas anymore. I did get some Christmas money and I decided to set those for Christmas books, books that I wanted. And I have a little wish list going, and I've decided I'm going to be more conscious about buying more books. Mainly because I've allowed a lot of not rubbish books, but I've allowed a lot of books that I haven't really thought about wholeheartedly to come onto my TBR, and a lot of them are like by white authors with no diversity in it at all. And all of the books I want to read at the moment, because that's the way my taste is at the moment, tend to be, I'm finding a lot more diverse fantasy books and various other books from different people that I actually want to read, and I don't own them and I don't want to like buy them on Scribd and thing, or like Audible and things like that. So I've decided to just haul a ton. It's a real mix of books in here, but about a few different things, and that is what we're going with. Start with something a bit random, but I'm going to talk about it because is Nadia Bakes by Nadia Hussain, which she was the winner of Bake Off 2015, I think, and she's my favourite ever winner of Bake Off. She's my favourite person in Bake Off. I cried my eyes out when she won. Like, every time I watch that video of her winning, it chokes me. Like, I just love her so much. I don't actually own any of her cookbooks. Cookbooks aren't something I tend to buy for myself, and I decided, because I love baking, if you watch any of my vlogs, I bake quite regularly. I do like cooking as well, but not so much. I don't really do that in the vlogs just because of my living situation. But I thought I'm going to treat myself to this because I really want it, and now I already want to buy all of her other ones, so next time I do a haul, there's definitely going to be another one. But yeah, I've already thought about how many things I want to make from here, so I'm really excited about that. And then let's get into the books. I have here Songs of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. I know this is fantasy, and I know there's like tasks and like sultans and things like that. I don't know a huge lot about it, but I think it's been on my wish list for a really long time when I saw a few other people talk about it, and this is like really reflective because I have a little ring light going to try and like brighten things up. I realise you can see the book that I've just mislaid, so it's just not nicely. I've realised that I don't know a whole lot about this, but I followed the author on Twitter and she seems really cool, and I've wanted to get into this book, but I kind of don't want to know what's going on, so I'm quite pleased that I've got this now, finally got my hands on it. It's got the most beautiful cover, look at that, and it is so reflective and beautiful, and I'm very, very happy to own it. Ooh, The Temptation is one I've been meaning to read for ages, and that is City of Brass by S.K. Chakraborty, and this is a fantasy novel, I believe, set in 18th century Cairo, and it's got sort of like market trickster, and I know that there's like things like gin and like lots of different things in here, and it's another one I don't know a whole lot about, but every time I hear anyone talk about it, I'm desperate to read it, so I decided to buy this one even though it's unscripted because I just wanted to read it physically and devour it. A little bit different, Get a Life Chloe Brown by Talia Hibbert. I have not bought a romance book in so long. I enjoyed quite a few different romances last year, and I wanted to like try something different, and this is about a chronically ill girl who makes a list of all the things she wants to do, and they are enjoy a drunken night out, ride a motorbike, go camping, have meaningless but thoroughly enjoyable sex, travel the world with nothing but hand luggage, and do something bad. So I'm really excited to read this. It seems like really fun, and it would be a really good romance. I know it's a series, so hopefully that then I can buy the next ones after that, but hopefully this is really good. How Long Till Black Future Month by N.K. Jemisin. And N.K. Jemisin wrote one of my favourite fantasy series that I read quite a few years ago. I say it was probably more like 2 or 3 years ago, but it feels like quite some time. I might reread them again. That's the 5th season, by the way. And these are, I believe, fantasy stories, short stories that like are just really interesting. I've just heard good things, and I really like N.K. Jemisin, and I just really would like to dive further into her writing, so that's one I'm going to read. Next we have King of the Dragonflies by Kacen Callendar. I'm not sure if this is magical realism or if it's about imagination and what do you call it, like imaginary friends, but I believe this is about a young boy whose brother has just passed away, and he believes he can speak to him like the dragonflies by the bayou. And it's a really wonderful story about grief. I believe there's LGBTQ plus elements here. I'm not quite sure on that yet, so obviously I'll let you know once I've read and wrapped it up, but I heard it's very moving, and there's a lot of Kacen Callendar's books I want to get to, but I wasn't able to pick. There was a few I wanted to buy, but this was the only one in stock basically, so I just got this one instead of a couple, but I'm kind of glad. Just start with one book, then move on to the next one. God, I've got so many plans of more books I want to buy. Is that normal? I don't think it is. Next I've got Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi, and this is, I believe, a story about 2 sisters, and one who is sold for slavery and one who marries a slaver, and it's about their lives and their children's lives and how that has a long-term effect in the future. And I think it's quite speculative and literary and historical and interesting, and it's just got a lot of aspects that I really would like to read this year, and I've heard really good things about it. It's been out for a little while, I think, but yes, this is one that I got. Let's go last. Next I have Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, which is illustrated by Chris Priestley, and I didn't realise this was poetry, poetry with a narrative, but this is a story about a boy whose brother has been killed, and I believe he's been shot, and he is on his way. He's in an elevator, he's in a lift, he's in a lift on his way down to kill the person who killed his brother, and I believe it is very retrospective. The book only spans 60 seconds. I believe it's very moving. It talks about gun crime. I heard it being brought up a lot in discussion with Black Lives Matter. I heard it being brought up a lot in the discussion with the Black Lives Matter movement, and it has been on my wish list for a really long time, and I'm glad I finally picked it up. I actually picked it up from Ashley, well, I didn't pick it up from Ashley, but Ashley from Bookish Brown mentioned it in one of her videos in her Vlogmas, which was the most amazing Vlogmas. I absolutely adored her Vlogmas. She picked a song for every day and based the theme around that song, and like, so like her favourite graphic novels, things like that. And it was so interesting, it was so novel, and she was amazing. She did it all, she pre-filmed everything by the looks of it, and it looks, not everything, but she pre-filmed quite a lot. She was very prepared, very organised, and at the beginning she spoke a little bit about each song. I can't remember which video this was in. Oh, it might have been in like books that made her cry, or books that are important to her. I'll try and find out and I'll link it down below. But if you haven't watched Ashley, her videos are incredible. She talks about such a wide range of books, and she's a lovely YouTuber to watch. I very much enjoyed her. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really excited to read this because of her. Because of her talking about it, it reminded me that I wanted to buy this, so I then picked it. And last, I have Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is the first book in the Farseer trilogy, and it's about the main character Fitz, who is the bastard child of the king, and then I think he basically becomes the only hope for the kingdom, and he has to sort of step up to the plate. And in that respect, it's quite interesting, and it's the start of a fantasy series. I really want to read the Lifeship Traders trilogy. I think it's a trilogy, but I thought I'd best start here, and I have heard such good things about Robin Hobb, so I am really looking forward to diving into this. And it's quite a short one to start with. I think all the rest of them are really chunky, but this one should be nice to start with. And that is it. That's everything. That is all of the books that I am going to talk to you about today. I am very happy that I pulled books. It's really exciting because I haven't done it in such a long time. One of my 2021 goals is to haul more books. You're going to think, what on earth are you talking about? But bear with me on this. I want to haul more books because that way I can keep my TBR fresh. I'll talk more about it in a 2021 goals video. I don't know which order this is coming up. Whatever's coming up, I'll link it down below. But yeah, so thank you. I'm just going to stop there because I'm just going to keep talking about things I'm going to talk about in the next video. But thank you so much for watching this, and I will speak to you soon, I hope. Have a lovely day, and this year is going to be a good one for us all.